marking 100 days of President Trump's second term, and the president is on his way to a rally in Michigan to tout his economic policies. Michigan is home to the U.S. auto industry. The White House announcing it's easing some tariffs on automakers. The 25% tariff on imported cars and parts will remain, but automakers won't be subject to the additional duty on imported steel and aluminum. The administration says the relief measures will encourage more U.S. production and new factories. And we are continuing our journey across the state to find out your opinions on Trump's first 100 days. Tonight, we're in Hartford with CT Insider's Dan Haar. Kara Sutherland shows us what he found.
This is the old State House in Hartford. It's the oldest state house in our nation, and a good launching point to discuss democracy and how it's working under President Trump.
So we're talking about President Trump's first 100 days, and what is your impression of the first 100 days?
He's the best president since Washington.
And what's your impression of his first 100 days in comparison to what you expected?
I didn't expect that anybody could do this much. And frankly, being $36 trillion in debt when we can't even pay off all of the interest, let alone the principal, is scary. At 75, I really am not looking forward to being in a country that goes bankrupt.
At 18 years old, student Shani McKenzie has other concerns.
One thing I don't like about Donald Trump is him trying to deport people back to their country. They making money, you know, they make their money. They came here for a reason, for a better life.
One block over on Pratt Street, Dan met Alton Dupre, a member of a crew doing some underground repairs. He's supportive of the president.
I think he's doing very good. I think what he's doing for the country overall, for the future of it, I think he's looking for the future of it. So I think everything that he's doing is right on track.
He did add that some things could be done better, specifically by DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, headed by Elon Musk.
So I agree with the cleanup on that part, but I don't agree with how they're doing it by quickly moving along and firing everybody first and then coming back and rehiring.
Farther down Pratt Street, the professional barbershop and owner, Chris Rosa, who provided Dan not only with good conversation, but a nice trim.
Now, there are two types of barbershops, the ones that never, ever talk about politics and the ones that sometimes do talk about politics. Which one are you?
We talk about politics, but I tell these guys to know your audience so you don't offend anybody, basically.
Rosa says he thinks Trump was the best choice over Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. He says he appreciates Trump's efforts to bring an end to the war in Ukraine and put the attention back on American citizens.
I mean, there comes a time where America has to stop giving out billions and billions of dollars. When you walk down the streets of Hartford and you see mentally ill people living on the street with no food, no winter jacket, and then we're giving $150 billion to Ukraine to fight. I mean, I know that they need everybody's help in the world, but I think we need to focus more on America.
With the haircut done, the team headed to Pope Park in the city's south end, where they found two different moms and their kids. One, Katie Campusano of Hartford, expressed worries about what the president's cuts could mean for her kids and their education.
Well, right now it's a bit concerning due to the budget cuts, possible budget cuts with Head Start, and me having younger kids, not knowing if Head Start will be continuing for the rest of the summer, for next year.
The other mom is from Brazil and has different and immediate worries.
How long have you been here? How many years?
4 years.
She says she's received a deportation order from ICE requiring that her family, including her husband, return to Brazil within the next month.
Yes, I go back to Brazil because Trump, I don't have paper. I go for immigration, Mexico, and I don't have paper. And Trump go deportation.
Wow, what an interview. Dan Hart joins us now to talk about what he found in Hartford. Immigration, obviously a big topic there. Yes. What was the big impression that you got?
Well, it's sad to see because these are people, this family, they're working hard. And we need these people in the view of many, including me. And so the way they're being treated, it's one thing to send criminals back. This person, we have reason to believe, was going through the process to become legal. But ICE under Trump is, as you know from what we've all been reporting, is removing a lot of these people, and they're ordering them to self-deport. So to me, my impression is sadness.
And one issue that you ran into is that a lot of people didn't want to talk on camera. Why do you think that is?
A lot of anti-Trump people who spoke very openly in recent years. Now in this administration, not so much, either because they're afraid that something might happen to them, or more likely, in my view, you know, they're politically in the minority, not in population in Connecticut, certainly not Hartford, but they're in the minority. And so, you know, you don't want to stand out in some ways. There was not, I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but we did speak with a number of people in the city of Hartford who were anti-Trump and wouldn't talk to us on camera.
It looks like you got both sides, though, out there.
Well, yeah, but, you know, in years past, you wouldn't have such an easy time getting those conservative side in the city of Hartford, and now you can, and I think that's telling of Trump and Trumpism.
Yeah, and tell us about your column today. What did you write about?
Well, what I'm looking at today, for the first day of a couple that I'm going to write, is the people that are strident on both sides. And what we find is that almost every person who opposes Trump is all in against Trump. Nothing good to say about him. Almost every person on this whole trip who voted for Trump has something they don't like about Trump. Now, that may just be the nature of incumbency, or maybe the nature of Trump, or it could be just the happenstance of what we saw. But it was overwhelming.
Interesting. All right, Dan Hart, thank you very much. And coming up at 6, you'll hear from lawmakers about the 100-day milestone. Then tomorrow, we will continue our cross-state trip. We'll be in Waterbury hearing from voters there. That will be right here at 5:30.